Out in the wild, you learn to spot resources others miss, the subtle signs of life, the hidden potential in the landscape. It's about seeing beyond the surface, understanding the interconnectedness of everything around you. This skill, this awareness, is crucial not just for survival, but for innovation. A dry stick for fire, a hidden spring, a patch of edible berries. These seemingly small things can make all the difference. They represent opportunity, resilience, and the ability to thrive even in the face of adversity. For Ingvar Kamprad, the wilderness wasn't a literal forest, but the rocky farmland of Småland, Sweden. This region, with its unique character and challenging environment, played a pivotal role in shaping his entrepreneurial spirit. The land was harsh, unforgiving, demanding respect and resilience. The people were tougher, forged by the same conditions, embodying a spirit of hard work and determination. They knew how to make do with what they had, and they weren't afraid to get their hands dirty. Ingvar learned to make a lot from a little, a skill that would become a cornerstone of his business philosophy. He observed the resourcefulness of his community, the way they maximized every opportunity, and he internalized those lessons. Survival meant using what you had with grit and cleverness, finding innovative solutions to everyday problems. It was about thinking outside the box, seeing potential where others saw limitations, and never giving up in the face of challenges. Ingvar wasn't like other boys. He possessed a unique blend of curiosity, ambition, and a relentless drive to succeed. He saw the world differently, recognizing opportunities where others saw only obstacles. He had a fire in his belly, a hunger to do more, to create something of value, to leave his mark on the world. This inner drive fueled his early ventures and set him on the path to becoming a global icon. While others played, he was on his bicycle, riding for miles, exploring the countryside, connecting with his community, and seeking out new opportunities. His bicycle was his office, his showroom, and his connection to the world. He bought matches in bulk from Stockholm, taking advantage of economies of scale and demonstrating an early understanding of business principles. He saw an opportunity to provide a valuable product at an affordable price, selling them to neighbors, one box at a time, building relationships and establishing a reputation for reliability and fair dealing. He understood the importance of personal connection and the power of word-of-mouth marketing. The profit was small, but the thrill was in the challenge, the satisfaction of earning his own money, and the knowledge that he was building something from the ground up. He was learning valuable lessons about hard work, perseverance, and the rewards of entrepreneurship. He was learning the landscape of business, understanding the dynamics of supply and demand, the importance of customer service, and the art of negotiation. These early experiences were shaping him into a savvy and resourceful entrepreneur, testing himself against the world, pushing his boundaries, and discovering his own potential. He was developing the confidence and resilience that would be essential for his future success. Soon, it wasn't just matches. He was constantly seeking out new products and opportunities to expand his business. He was a natural hustler, always looking for ways to improve and grow. He sold flower seeds, bringing beauty and joy to his community, and tapping into the growing interest in gardening, greeting cards, connecting people through heartfelt messages and celebrating special occasions, Christmas decorations, adding sparkle and cheer to the holiday season, and understanding the power of seasonal products, even fish, demonstrating his willingness to diversify and adapt to the needs of his customers. Each venture was a new expedition, a lesson in supply and demand, a chance to hone his skills and refine his business acumen. He was constantly learning and evolving, preparing himself for even greater challenges. He learned what people needed and how to get it to them, understanding the importance of providing value and building lasting relationships with his customers. Ingvar was building his survival skills, one sale at a time, developing the resilience, resourcefulness, and determination that would define his career. This wasn't just a hobby, it was a calling, a deep-seated passion that drove him to excel and to create something truly special. The lessons of Småland became his compass, guiding his decisions, shaping his values, and informing his vision for the future. Be frugal, always mindful of costs and seeking ways to maximize efficiency. Be resourceful, finding creative solutions to challenges and making the most of limited resources. Work harder than anyone else, dedicating himself to his goals and never shying away from hard work. Don't waste a thing, valuing every resource and minimizing waste in all aspects of his life and business. These weren't just business tactics, they were survival rules ingrained in his DNA, shaping his approach to every challenge and opportunity. etched into his soul by the stony fields of his home, a constant reminder of the importance of hard work, resilience, and resourcefulness. Ingvar's early hustle was the spark that would one day light up the world, igniting a global phenomenon that would transform the way people live. It all started here in the wild, in the heart of Småland, where a young boy learned the lessons that would shape his destiny and change the world. Every expedition, whether it's climbing a mountain or navigating life, has hidden dangers lurking around every corner. These dangers aren't always visible. Sometimes they're unseen forces that challenge us in unexpected ways. For Ingvar Kamprad, the founder of IKEA, it wasn't a storm raging outside or a wild animal lurking in the shadows. It was dyslexia, a silent and often misunderstood adversary. In the classroom, the very tools of learning, letters and words, danced and swam before his eyes, creating a confusing and frustrating experience. Reading, which came so easily to others, was a constant struggle, a daily uphill battle against a relentless foe. And writing was a complete nightmare, a torturous exercise in frustration and self-doubt. He felt the sting of embarrassment, the isolating feeling of being different in a world that valued conformity. He was constantly watching his classmates read with effortless ease, a stark contrast to his own internal turmoil. Teachers, lacking understanding of dyslexia, often misunderstood him, mistakenly thinking he wasn't paying attention or simply wasn't trying hard enough. But inside, far from being lazy or inattentive, he was fighting a private war, a silent battle against a neurological condition he didn't fully understand. This constant struggle, this relentless pressure, could have easily broken him, crushing his spirit and dimming his potential. But Ingvar Kamprad was not one to surrender. He chose to fight back, to confront his challenges head-on with unwavering determination. He realized he couldn't rely on traditional methods, that he couldn't simply memorize facts from books like his peers. So instead, he focused on developing other skills, honing his natural talents, and finding alternative routes to success. He became an incredible listener, paying close attention to every word spoken, absorbing information through sound rather than sight. He became keenly observant, watching people, studying their behaviors, and understanding their motivations. He diligently trained his memory, developing techniques to hold on to what he heard and observed, compensating for his reading difficulties. In a remarkable twist of fate, his greatest weakness, his dyslexia, forced him to develop his greatest strength, an unparalleled ability to understand people and solve problems. Ingvar accepted that he couldn't be the best reader in the room, so he channeled his energy into becoming the best problem solver, a skill that would prove invaluable in his entrepreneurial journey. This internal battle, this constant struggle against adversity, forged a resilience in him that was tougher than steel, an unbreakable spirit that would define his life. He learned a valuable lesson, that the straight, well-worn path isn't the only path to success, and that sometimes to achieve your dreams, you have to find your own way, hacking a new trail through the dense and unforgiving jungle of life. In the wild, you can't follow a perfect map. The terrain is always shifting, the weather unpredictable. You have to rely on your wits, your instincts, and your ability to adapt to the unexpected. You adapt, solve problems with what you've got. Resourcefulness becomes your greatest asset. You learn to see possibilities where others see limitations, turning everyday objects into essential tools. This became Ingvar's superpower. This ability to see problems as opportunities, to find innovative solutions in the face of adversity, defined his approach to business and life. School was about reading and writing perfectly. He couldn't do that. The traditional academic environment presented a significant hurdle, a system that didn't cater to his unique way of processing information. But he found comfort in systems, in solving puzzles. The logical structure, the clear objectives, and the satisfaction of finding the right fit provided a sense of accomplishment and control. He created his own ways to cope with dyslexia. He developed strategies to navigate a world designed for a different kind of mind, turning his perceived weakness into a source of strength. He couldn't remember long product codes, they were just too abstract and unwieldy for his mind to grasp effectively. So he used simple Swedish names, Billy, Klippen. These names were easy to remember, relatable, and imbued the products with a sense of warmth and familiarity. This wasn't just marketing, it was survival. It was a practical solution born out of necessity, a way to make his business work despite his challenges. Ingvar turned his challenge into a creative solution. He transformed a personal obstacle into a unique brand identity. a testament to his ingenuity and resourcefulness. This is the essence of survival, turning a disadvantage into an advantage. It's about reframing your perspective, finding hidden strengths, and using your unique circumstances to your benefit. He broke down huge challenges into small, manageable steps. He understood that even the most daunting tasks could be conquered by dividing them into smaller, more achievable components. That's how you cross a glacier, or build a global empire. One step at a time, with careful planning, unwavering determination, and a clear vision of the ultimate goal. Ingvar couldn't be a scholar, so he became a master of logistics and efficiency. He channeled his energy into understanding the flow of goods, optimizing processes, and creating systems that worked seamlessly. He built his world around one principle: find the problem, break it down, create a simple, practical solution. This approach permeated every aspect of his business, from product design to customer service. This mindset became the foundation of his company, a culture of problem-solving, innovation, and a relentless pursuit of simplicity. A company that would solve a very big problem for millions, the problem of affordable, stylish, and functional furniture for everyone, regardless of their budget. Every great expedition starts with a single step. At 17, Ingvar used a small cash reward from his father to register his own company. He didn't hire a branding agency, he used his own system. Ingvar Kamprad, Elmtarid, the family farm; Agunarid, his village; IKEA. Simple, personal, rooted in home. At first, IKEA sold pens, wallets, picture frames, anything Ingvar could buy cheap and sell for a profit. He operated out of a shed, using the milk truck for deliveries. It was humble, but Ingvar had a bigger vision. He saw that rural Swedes couldn't afford decent furniture. Furniture was heavy, expensive, and only sold in big cities. Ingvar didn't believe in luxury for the few. He believed in good things for the many. He saw a problem and his mind started working. How could he get well-designed furniture to everyday people at a price they could afford? The biggest breakthroughs come from solving simple, frustrating problems. For IKEA, that moment came with a table. Shipping furniture was a nightmare. Bulky, expensive, easily damaged. The solution came from a designer trying to fit a table in his car. He took the legs off. Eureka! Why ship a whole table when you could ship the parts? This was the birth of flat-pack furniture. A revolution. Suddenly, a big table fit in a small box. Shipping costs plummeted, damage dropped, prices fell. But it did something more. It changed the relationship with the customer. Now you took the box home, followed simple picture-based instructions, and built it yourself. This created pride and ownership. You didn't just buy a table, you built it. The simple idea put the power and the savings directly into the hands of the people. As IKEA became a global giant, Ingvar Kamprad became one of the world's richest men. But he lived simply, flying economy, driving an old Volvo, hunting for bargains. He saw waste as a cardinal sin. Every penny saved could lower prices for customers. He called himself a refugee from privilege, rejecting the traps of wealth. Ingvar led by example, staying in cheap hotels, eating at IKEA cafeterias. He knew that losing touch with ordinary people would cost the company its soul. His humility kept him grounded, and the company focused on its mission, a better everyday life for the many. His wealth was in the success of the idea, not his bank account. In a world obsessed with excess, Ingvar showed the strength of simplicity. Every expedition needs a compass, a code to live by. Ingvar Kamprad created the IKEA way. Simplicity, anti-waste, humility, and the courage to fail. No fancy titles, no corner offices, everyone on a first-name basis. Waste was the enemy. Every resource was valuable. Stores were built on the outskirts to save money, furniture designed for efficiency. Mistakes weren't punished. They were lessons. Ingvar believed only those who are asleep make no mistakes. These principles became IKEA's DNA, lived every day from the CEO to the warehouse floor. This strong culture was IKEA's greatest advantage, a compass guiding them through decades of growth. From a farm shed to every corner of the globe, Ingvar Kamprad's legacy is more than a chain of stores. He democratized design, making well-designed homes accessible to everyone. His impact is in millions of homes, comfortable, organized, beautiful because of his vision. He changed how we shop for our homes, how furniture is designed and sold. The flat-pack box and Allen key became universal symbols. Ingvar didn't just sell products, he sold a better way of living. His story proves your challenges can become your greatest assets. Dyslexia forced him to be creative. His humble background gave him empathy. He turned every disadvantage into strength. Ingvar showed you don't need privilege to achieve something extraordinary, just vision, grit, and an unbreakable will. What's the final lesson from Ingvar Kamprad's life? The greatest adventures start with a spark, a problem you're passionate about solving. Don't wait for permission or the perfect plan. Start now. You'll face your own wilderness, lack of resources, self-doubt, doubters. Ingvar faced it all and turned challenges into strengths. Build your life on simple, powerful principles. Be humble, be frugal, hate, waste, led by example, never fear mistakes. These aren't just business rules, they're life rules. Stay true to your values, they'll be your compass. True wealth isn't what you have, but what you stand for. Your background doesn't determine your destiny, your vision does. Ingvar Kamprad proved anyone can build something great. Find your problem, trust your compass, and take that first brave step. Your expedition is waiting. Go for it.